Hello, everybody. What is up? My name is Robert, and of course, as you know, my channel is Robert's LPs. And I normally do video game videos, but as I keep talking about it, I'm going to do more and more vlog type videos and stuff like that. So, the date is December the 1st, 2025. We're almost to 2026, and guess what? Today is my birthday! Yay! Not that it was a very great. This is literally. It is literally 1 a.m. in the morning right now. So I still have not even slept yet. It is super late at night, and I got off of work at midnight. And of course, as usual, work has been absolutely just rough. It's been rough. It's the holiday seasons, and I work in seasonal department, so we get we had when I first came in, before we even started doing, or actually, while I was driving to work, I got a call from my manager asking me to clock in earlier. So as soon as I got there, I freaking clocked in immediately and immediately got to work doing projects. And apparently our store managers wants us to empty out 3 big storage containers full of the Christmas freight, which is all of the Christmas freight, and get rid of it all in just a week. So we only have a week left to get rid of all of our stuff. Apparently, even though it's only the beginning of December, they want us to get it all out. So get your shopping done now, folks. I actually kind of procrastinated this year. Normally, I do my shopping a lot earlier than I did this year, but I've got basically all of my shopping done aside from just 2 presents. But I do have an ideal in mind for those presents. Anyways, but when I first came in, we had after I, worked a little bit on the project, they had us get returns, or had my coworker get returns, and we had 4 carts of returns. 4 carts of returns. So that was a lot of returns. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Kirby's Air Rider, and I don't know, I might just put some. I don't know. Actually, I don't know how I could do it. I don't know how I can get screenshots off of my Switch to upload to YouTube, but I'll try and figure out a way. To do it. But I've been playing a lot of Kirby's Air Rider, and I've been doing a lot of stuff on that. And I mean, it just came out, so of course I've been on the grind on that game. And I was a huge fan of the original way back on the GameCube, and I still have my OG Nintendo GameCube. Well, actually, it's not my OG Nintendo GameCube from when I was a child. The first GameCube I got was actually purple, and the one I have now is black. Because at a certain point in my life, when I was in high school, when I first went into high school, I actually got rid of my GameCube and all my GameCube games, which literally only gave me $30 for it all. And I was so mad about that, because I was like, what the heck? The GameCube on its own was $100. And then each one of those games was $40, $50. So, obviously retail back then and even now for electronics still is not that great, which, kind of sucks, especially if you're a gamer. Retail on video games is pretty terrible. And especially now with the companies, all these gaming companies being everything's going digital, we'll still release hard copies of stuff, but we'll put into our systems a means of expiring that game. So even if you get a hard copy of the game, it still expires eventually, which is that sucks. But anyways, I do have my I do have a GameCube, and I have Kirby's Air Rider, the original one. So I did play a lot of that when I was younger, and I really enjoyed it. So obviously, I've been enjoying the newer Kirby's Air Ride. Um, Other than that, I'm still watching. I'm still watching that one anime. The Great Teacher Onizuka, and it's good, but it's also kind of messed up in a lot of ways. But um, I haven't really been watching it too much, which is why I'm still not done with it. I've been watching just everything new that's been coming out lately. Like tonight, I just finished watching the new episode of Gachi Akuta, and I think there's some other animes I need to watch. The night before that was a really good episode of To Your Eternity, which, thank goodness it didn't take a really sad or tragic, turn or whatever. Like it could have really gone down a very dark route. Well, I mean, it sort of does touch on, I can't even say the word, but it does touch on depression and people not being too happy. Man, this lighting sucks in my room. Anyways, I don't want to talk for too long in this video, but I just wanted to talk about, all the things that's been going on recently with me. I can't even talk right now. I've been also playing a ton of Hollow Knight Silksong, even though, that game's been out for a while, and pretty much most of the people who were super duper into those games have already 100%ed it, and they've already gotten the speed run down to below an hour, which I expected that. I expected that to happen. I mean, Team Cherry literally put in an in-game achievement of beating the game in 5 hours, and I'm kind of dreading that, to be honest, because I'm I'm really not that skilled at the game, and honestly, getting through all the required steps to technically get to the ending of the game is really difficult. And then they put another speedrunning achievement in for beating the game 100% within 30 hours. And that's another one where I'm like, oh my gosh, just 30 hours? And now here comes the embarrassing part. I just now entered into Act 3 of the game. Yep. I've been prolonging it and holding off and running around the world of Farloom. I say world, but it's not really a world. The overworld of Farloom or whatever. That's your main, that's basically the land that you're in, is the land of Farloom in Hollow Knight Silksong. So I've been just exploring all of it, or trying to explore all of it, trying to get everything that I could, potentially get. I think I think I was still missing a few things here and there, and I was trying to also 100% my Hunter's Journal, which obviously I knew I couldn't do until I actually entered into Act 3, especially since there's this one enemy called the Elder Pilgrim or something like that literally in Act 1 and 2 only has a 1 in 3 chance to spawn in a certain area, but then in Act 3 it has a 2 in 3 chance of spawning in one area, and then a guaranteed spawn in another area. So I figured, I'll just save that one for once I enter Act 3. And then what else did I do? Oh yeah, that's right. The other one that I couldn't get to was the Great Conchfly, and that's because in the area called the Sands of Karak, whatever, you can't actually explore the top half of it until you get your third and final movement ability, which I still have not gotten yet, because you can't get it until you enter into Act 3. So I've been just working towards that, and I just the other day, or the other night, whatever, beat the final boss. I mean, I had already beaten the final boss previously, and my playtime was like, I think it was like 40 hours or something like that. But after taking more time before starting Act 3, I spent about another like 20 hours. So my playtime was like 66 hours. I spent like another 26 hours, uh, working on, doing stuff in the world of Farloom, in the world of Hollow Knight Silksong. And so, yeah, my playtime was awful. 66 hours is terrible. But, I still feel kind of satisfied. I sort of messed up though. I beat the boss and then I just used the bind instead of the playing the needle in like I was supposed to, so I had to actually beat the final boss a second time. And honestly, the final boss is really not super tough. Not super duper tough for me. I can beat it fairly easily having as long as I'm playing my Switch 2 in the handheld mode. When I play it on my big screen TV, for whatever reason, I'm just not as good at it. So, I don't know. It's weird. Call it like a skill issue or just call it some kind of weird quirk. But maybe it's just like my hand size and the controllers. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. My hand-eye coordination is not as good if I'm not holding it like in the handheld mode. So if I have it on my big screen TV, I could try like 5 or 6 times and not hardly even get Grandmother Silk to her second phase. But if I have it in handheld mode, I can pretty much beat her in like 1 or 2 attempts. So yeah, so I did that, and it's really interesting what happens after you beat her and then play the needle in instead. Because instead of your character absorbing all the silk from her, instead it's like the silk just gets trapped. And then it's hard to explain, but basically this like black mist just leaks out from the ground, and then when you reload the game and you go to I don't know, I'm doing what I'm doing with my hands. Then when you reload the game, your file will look like totally weird and different. Like the file will literally be like sealed by these black tendril threads covering it, and you have to literally mash the A button like you're whacking away at it or whatever to unlock your file, and then you start. And oh man, I was trying to you start down in this one area that it looked, when I looked at my map, it looked like I was still up in the at the top of the citadel, at the cradle, is what it's called. But I'm pretty sure that I'm now down in the abyss, which is like an area down at the very bottom of Farloom. And unfortunately, as expected, this is the part of the game where shit gets real and the enemies become a lot more powerful. Because I tried this one enemy gauntlet like twice, where you have to fight pretty much just like basic enemies, but they're way harder. Like, way harder, way stronger, and they can now release these creepy black tendrily attacks and stuff like that. Kind of reminded me a little bit of the attacks that the Hollow Knight would use from off of the original Hollow Knight. So, alright, that's enough talking about that though. I have a ton of games though I still need to get back to 100%, but I just don't see myself having enough time to do it, and I've been really wanting to get back into getting back on my PlayStation 4 more, rather than just getting on it to record BioShock or whatever I'm recording for my next Let's Play, I want to actually go on. I want to start streaming games again. And I want to also start playing more Minecraft. But again, that's just more things, more time, and I just don't have that time because of my job. But, you know what? It'll all work out. I need to stop complaining. Alright, I think I'm going to end this video off here, but before I completely end it off, I just want to stop on one final note, leave off on one final thing, and that is, I always say I don't like to talk about politics, and this is sort of political, but sort of not political, and I just want to touch up on it, and that is what happened in Washington, D.C., where 2 of our National Guard members were shot, and sadly their lives were ended by some crazy person, some extremist, or whatever. And I just gotta say, like, looking at the comment sections of like almost every post on Facebook about it, you don't always see it. I mean, looking at the posts on Facebook, I see so many comments about, whose responsibility was it, and so many of them are, blaming Donald Trump. And then, of course, a lot of people are blaming Biden because that's when the person was apparently allowed into our country. But, I saw just one comment that I completely agree with on this issue. It doesn't matter, whose administration let him in, because before he did this attack, he was an ally. So we didn't know that this was going to happen. There was no way of knowing that this was going to happen. So the people who keep blaming Trump or blaming Biden, guess what? It doesn't matter. It would have happened under any president. So playing the blame game is fucking stupid and lame and immature and pointless. What we need to talk about and discuss is the motivation behind this. Why did this guy do this? Why did he feel the need to do it? And, I don't know, man. A lot of people are also saying that the National Guard shouldn't have even been there. And to a certain degree, I kind of agree, but at the same time, our federal agents are being attacked. They're being attacked. So, and this recent attack just kind of like even more so justified it. Even like the recent attack against them kind of just justified the whole entire thing. So yeah, that's my opinion on the matter, and so I don't know. So let me know what all your thoughts are down below in the comments. If you want to, say whatever you want to, cuss me out and be like, fuck you or whatever, you can do that. Go ahead. Be my guest. I don't care. Anyways, but if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe and let me know what you think down in the comments below, or if you're watching any good animes or what games you're playing or whatever. Yeah. And we could just have a friendly little conversation. So, see you guys next time. Bye.